What's talking, brothers? Welcome to the wot.projects podcast.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to at whichever time you're listening in. So, welcome to the podcast. So this is the first episode which I introduced in the introduction episode, if you haven't heard. So, this is my mom.
Hi.
So, yeah, I did say that I will be doing the first episode with her. And I think those who are actually listening or watching would know her or have met her because I believe that my audience are my close friends because this is quite like a intimate podcast kind of thing. So it's just a short introductory about my mom. Like, since young, she was a very busy woman. She worked hard to earn for the family, but now she's a not really a stay-home mom, but
Leisure woman.
I don't know what you call it. Really just traveling, doing a lot of activities, helping people. So most of the time, if she's not traveling, she'll be at home. So finally, I managed to have a time to like sit down with her and like talk to her. So since young, I wasn't very close to her because she was working a lot, and so I really wasn't. I didn't have that closeness with my mom. But then a lot of people are surprised because my family is like it looks like we are so close. Oh, we are very close knitted. My family is quite close in a sense where we openly talk. We do have like family outings, but it's like once a week. But behind all that is actually a lot of work done between me and my mom. There's like some relationship with parents where they feel like a barrier between them, I think, which I think is actually very normal. So I feel like by sharing how we've progressed through the years, maybe some of them feel like, oh, maybe it's a time to maybe sit down and talk to my parents. So yeah, maybe you can share like your point of view, how you saw me as a child, and then leading up to my teenager years, and then as of now, where we currently are. Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Of course, this got to do with my past grown up experience, because we actually use our own experience to guide our child, right? Because that's how we know, that's how we grow up. So naturally, when how I treat my children is through what I learned from my childhood time. So my childhood time, my mom, my parents actually give us total freedom. They don't interfere in our life, and they let us do what we want, and up to you, because during my time, my parents, they have a handful of things to take care of, so they have no time to really go in details with our life. So since childhood, I'm very, very independent, and I make decision all by myself, and I live on my own. I mean, decide on my own. And because my family is consider, we have 6 siblings, and then besides that, we stay with all our cousins, mostly of our cousins. So it's very, very big family, and my mom really have to take care of many, many things. So that's how I grew up. So when come to my children, I use the same method to give them the freedom, and they can do, I really just let them be themselves. And of course, I'm also very busy, like what I think experienced my childhood time. My mom also not always not there for me, and I'm looking it in a very positive way. But to me, I'm giving them the full freedom to decide and to lead their life. But on Chia's side, it is another story. So maybe we can listen to her story.
I think maybe you forgot to. Oh my god. Maybe you forgot to explain. It's not because your parents give you freedom. It's because they had no choice.
Yes.
It's not that they had the choice, then they choose to give the freedom, right? It's more of because they were caught up with their own responsibilities as a parent to provide for the family, and that's why they didn't have time. It wasn't more like it was an unconscious
Yeah,
choice,
definitely.
right?
Definitely.
Yeah. So I think after she explained to me, okay, since young, I vaguely remember the times when she was around. In summary, is that mostly it's my dad, the one that's taking care of the family, which is like fetching me to school and being around most of the times, like most of the household responsibilities. My dad will be working still, but then he'll be picking us up from work while she's either working in Singapore or like overseas. So I mean, since young, I felt that she was like wasn't present, which eventually made me feel very distant from her, and to the point where I actually kind of like kind of distant away from her in the
Yeah, okay. Because we have to look back to the core. Why? Because as I mentioned that I believe my belief is to let the children be themselves, decide for themselves. And I trust that they will grow up well because that's how I grew up. So this is a mindset thing that I have. So when I see that Jia Xuan is close up, and then she's so close to the dad, because I realize I understand because I always not there for her, and she's close. I mean, she's close to her father. I find that this is very normal because why? Because I'm always not there, and his dad, is always taking care of them. So for her to get close to her father, this is normal to me because I know that I'm not there, and but her close door to me, that she like she behave different to me. I realized that, and actually I try to use my way or method to like try to change the situation, but I realize I can't, and her door is closed. So when I realize her door is closed, no point me going hardly against or impose what I think is right as a mother, or impose to her or want to change her to accept me. I realize that is not possible because due to my work, due to my my experiences, I realize this is not going to work. And that's why I allow it to be. That's my take, but I do not know how Charles taking it.
but for our case it's just that it's really based on personality also, I guess. I was a very hot-headed person, and I I tone out a lot. Maybe I don't know. That's why then maybe we can communicate. Because at that point of time, I obviously don't want to talk to you. And maybe she didn't realize, but because by me being very close to my dad, right, it actually had an effect on how I grew up as a teenager. I was quite a tomboyish person. I didn't like to wear dress, and she didn't realize it. Maybe
I do realize.
okay, you do realize just that she didn't feel that it was a problem because I was close to my dad. She just
No, it's not that it's not a problem. I do realize it's a problem, but as when I try to talk you out, but I know that your door is closed, so I cannot impose, and I don't intend to
not
because I know it
really
will, because you will not listen. I've tried a few times, but you will not listen, so I let it be.
because I was of my exposure. You weren't there firstly as a mom to guide me how to be a girl or a woman or how to look pretty. Maybe she didn't realize that. But after many years, then I came to bring this point up to her that yeah, you weren't there to
Yeah,
teach me.
because the thing is that okay, when if you look back your childhood now, when you are very young, I always dress you up, I always doll you up, and you look so pretty and cute. But when you started going to school, primary school, when I started my work, where I have not I don't have much time for you, that's when you look up for to daddy. So that's natural because I really, to me, it's again my perspective. I always feel that I want to help others, or assist others, and I always look out. I mean, not to look out. I always put my time for external, for my friends, for other people. I always feel that family members, I'm always there, and yeah, if you need me, I'm always there. But without realizing this, I actually put them at the last of my list. So that is the reason why. And yeah, I have put all my times out there. That is the reason why.
But I think it's okay because eventually we come to acknowledge. I think most important is like acknowledging, right? Like for us, each of us, we take the time to go and reflect on ourselves. Like for you, you found out the reason because you were helping people, which is a good thing. But instead, the people closest to you, you kind of like
Neglected.
neglected. But for me, it's more of like because I didn't see things from your perspective, and I kind of only saw it on my perspective. Like, oh, you are neglecting me. You don't make time for the family and whatnot. Leading up to my teenage years, she still wasn't much here. I was still very close off. It's only until when I went to study overseas, and that's when I started to talk to like cause we will message. I will message my family like kind of update each other, video call, and then maybe cause of COVID as well, she had to stay at home. She couldn't go anywhere, so made that situation made her stay at home for the past 2 years. She couldn't go around, and I think that helped her shifted her priorities in a way to the family because I think that's the only thing that she could do as of that time lah, right, during COVID. And
I think we have moved, and we have transformed our relationship a lot since the younger days till now.
yeah, definitely.
And to me is a growing up process, it's a learning process, and the most important thing is that the love towards each other is greater than anything. If if you realize the love towards mother to the child and child to the parents, the love is the greatest things, and of course the love can overcome all obstacles. If you stay and hold on to that love and realize, go back to this love, you will find ways to work things out. You will look at things in a different angle, especially to, I mean, on the other party, their, their side of the stories, because everyone would want to do their best for sure. But um I think that's how life is, and why life is so wonderful, because there's so much that we can learn from each other, and we can have so much wisdom through learning and appreciating each
I
other.
will say first thing, this does not apply. What like love will what overcome all obstacles. I personally am not a believer
Yes,
of that.
yes,
First thing,
yes.
because this does not apply for abusive relationships
Mhm,
between parents. I mean, like parents who abuse their kids or vice versa.
mhm,
I had a friend, because I talked to one of my friend, and she
mm,
said this something. I think I shared with you also, that
mm.
not word for word, but she said something like, I don't think anybody should hurt in the name of love.
Yes, I totally
Love
agree.
should not be a reason or an excuse for anyone to hurt you. And I think that's very important. Okay. In this case, she didn't really hurt me, but it's more of just like she didn't know better. But there are people who actually are, who know what they are doing and know that they are hurting you, but they still choose to do it. I think that, then no, that doesn't apply for that.
That's for sure. That's why the love, what I mean, that there's many categories, many levels. Why?
Mm.
Because sometimes they love the child, but they cannot control their anger, right? When they use anger to deal with their children, or child, vice versa, child using anger and violence to deal with their parents, that does not mean there's no love. Okay, they have love, but they cannot control their own anger. So this is different, love. And but with love, you can try to manage the situation, your anger or your behavior that you think is not appropriate. That's what I meant. That's what I meant. The love in you that give you the strength to work things out. Just like me and my daughter, what happened is that I love her and I allow her to be herself. Meaning, my love towards her is allowing her to express her dislike to me, or her express her disrespectful behavior certain times to me. But if I do not understand this, I will scold her. I will, like, maybe tell her off that, hey, you, what kind of, like, I will scold her and use all kind of words that might hurt her without realizing. So for me, because the love that I have for her, I allow and I understand. But maybe some of us, we thought that the love that I have for my children, I want to teach her, so I have to scold her, or I have to use some method that make her realize. But instead, it go the other way. So it's really not a fixed thing, but it's a trial and error, because everybody are so unique that you cannot use one method to deal. You cannot use one way to deal with your child as well, because times changes, situation changes, your thought changes. So what I'm trying to say is that we have to always on the now and reflect ourselves and see what are the way that we can deal or respond. Of course, with love that is in you towards the child, you will find ways, the appropriate way for both.
I mean, that is the more positive side of it, lah. Because she's the more positive person, I'm the more skeptical person. Facts. So it's
It's
good.
okay,
I
yeah.
think it's good. Then, because I think I can speak for people who do not have, the best childhood. I would say I'm already counted as lucky, because as much as she wasn't here for me as a mother, but I had a dad who really take care.
Always there.
Yeah, he really took care of the family well, and make sure that me and my brother
Grown up in
did
a.
not worry about a lot of things. And I know many people do not have the privilege to be in such a situation. And and so, maybe for those, if let's say I was in that position, and when I listen, I would actually feel like, oh, easy for you to say, because it worked out for us,
Mm.
right? but I feel that there are actually other
Yes.
families who are still struggling. Like, I think there will come a point in life where we feel like, is it worth it, especially if they say blood is thicker than water. That's what I still believe. Family, right? So
Yeah, it's not worth it or not worth it because as a mother, nobody teach me as a mother as well. Okay. And I learned through my mother how my mother treat me. So that's how I learned. And I believe, and I for me, I speak for myself that I know I whatever I do, I will try to do my best for my children. But my best maybe is not the appropriate ways, because everybody learn through they grow up and then they treat the child as what they know. So it could be not what the child really wanted. But me as a mother, I realize and I know that what I do for her is my best that I can do. Maybe it's not her best or not other people's best, but it's what I think, what I can do. So
okay,
yeah.
so example, if let's say you think that is the best, right? So here's the question, like, is it what the best you think is the best that you can do for yourself or for me?
Okay, the thing is because I grew up in a situation where my mom, my parents even give me total freedom. They will not ask me anything, they will not question me anything. And I would say that they trust me totally or they got no choice. I really do not know. But I grew up very well. I grew up I mean I love my life and I really love my life, and I find that I really thank my parents for giving me that kind of situation of growing up that let me do everything on my own. So because I grew up very well and I love my life so much, so I thought this way, this method is also should be workable for my children, and that's how I'm giving them the freedom. That is my thought, you know what I mean? So maybe to them, is
Yeah.
another
So I
situation.
think maybe most parents, they would think the same as you. Maybe they think that, oh, I
Yeah,
was
I
brought
think
up this
yeah,
way.
yeah,
I think this I'm happy. I'm
yeah.
happy with how I was brought up. I should put this experience onto my child also. Like, okay, how did my parents bring me up? How
Yes,
what were their methods? I
yes,
apply them to my kid. And I think
yes.
maybe that's why parents, maybe they never realize that, they never ask themselves, okay, I was happy with that when I but that is me. What about my kid? Maybe my kid
Mm,
doesn't want that. Maybe my kid, yes, as much as they also like freedom, any kid like freedom, any kid like to do whatever they want. But most parents are not like that, right?
mm.
Really, like, the you can do whatever you want, but just don't do bad things, don't do illegal things. For, like, she never really put a lot of pressure on in terms of our education or what we choose to study. So there was a good side also to her parenting style. So maybe I think maybe for parents, if there's any parents listening, that maybe you can actually think, okay, yeah, this is what I thought was the best way because that's was my experience. But have you actually communicated with your child whether, I mean, definitely when they are much older,
Uh,
when they can
y-
make more choices for
I think you
themselves?
you bring up a very valid point. Very valid point. Is that okay? This is my grow up experience, but what about your child? Is that what they want? Oh, I think this is a very good question that I think as a parent should think about it, because seriously, we never ask them. We never go and we just use what we thought that is useful, that is successful, and we just put everything to them. So example like especially like we always want the children to carry on our legacy or carry on our whatever we think that it should be, right? Like okay, especially like
Family
my yeah, like
business,
my
right?
friends, they have family business, they have worked so hard and they are so successful now. They hope that all their effort that is in and all their success that in this company, they hope that their children can take over. But they are in a disappointment because that's not what the children want, or maybe the children want to please their family. They don't want to disappoint their parents or father or mother, and they just do things that just to please their parents, but they are not happy. So I think these situations are so common that I see in around me. Oh yeah, so I think you brought up a very good valid reason. I think as a parents, we should ask our children, is this what you want for
I
your
I
life?
can
Yeah.
understand why parents would think that way because
They
I
thought
would
it's good.
no
They
no
thought
no
it's
because
they
they've
successful.
gone through life, you know, they feel
Yeah.
that as
Yeah,
a,
they
it's
thought
like,
it should be the same,
it's like
right?
teachers, you know, like,
yeah.
oh, I've gone through life already. I'm already in
Yeah.
my late 30s, late 40s.
Yeah.
I know that
Yeah.
this work, you know,
Yes.
successful. My life is the evidence that it is successful, you know, like, right?
Mm.
But then again, that's your life, right?
Yes,
Your child is
yes,
another
yes,
life. So
yes.
I think
Oh, yeah.
every child
Mm.
do experience in some form, but for you, maybe because your parents didn't have any expectations on you, they didn't put
No,
anything on you, right?
because they know I'm the best. I always give them the. I don't give them problem. I
I
don't give
mean,
them, and then in fact, I
okay,
take care
yeah.
of them very
Okay,
well.
that is your
Yeah,
situation, your
yeah, yeah, yeah.
scenario, but
So
that is the
I'm, yeah.
0.1% now, okay? But out of the 99.9% in the
Okay,
world, right?
okay.
Parents do put their expectations on kids. Even for my
Mm.
dad, right? Okay, so for my dad, his brought up was very much different from my
Mm.
mom. So
Yeah, totally
his
different.
parenting style is very different. So being able to be exposed with by two different parenting styles, I think then I can see how a person's childhood will really affect their, their life choices,
Yes,
everything lah,
yes,
in terms
yes.
of what they choose to do when they are more conscious,
Mhm.
starting from their teenagers years, leading up to their later
Yes.
years in life, right? So I think maybe parents, they do not, then again, maybe because they're so overwhelmed with what they have to, but in the midst of doing all this, they kind of miss the point where they check up on their child, right? Like, oh,
Mm.
so today, daddy, mommy choose to do this. How do you feel? You know, I think
Mm.
maybe you and daddy didn't really do that, but I think it could be a good starting
Yeah.
point for parents to build that trust with their kids. Because for me, I'm someone who will tell my parents wherever I go, because I built that. I in my mind, I believe that building trust with my parents is important. They know where I am. They know I will not lie to them. But I know a lot of people, a lot of teenagers, they lie to their parents because they don't want to get scolded. You know, they don't want to feel like their parents are stopping them from doing what they think they love or that is good, or yeah. Everybody have their definition of what is right and wrong, right?
Sorry to interrupt. I
Yeah.
think as a parents, right, if the way you approach to your child, I mean the approach to a child is very, very important. How the child going to respond to you. For me, I always treat my child as a friend, which means I respect them and I talk to them like a friend. I don't impose like, oh, I'm a mother, so you should listen to me and you better jolly well take all my words. No, I think that is not the approach. If you were to do that approach, your child will run away far away from you and they will not open up to you. So to me, I also always encourage my husband to talk to your child as a friend, respect them as an individual. Yes, they are your child, but you do not own their life. Yes, you give life to them. I mean, you give birth to them, but it's their life to carry on, and they have their own way of living. So
Make
yeah,
our own
yeah, I think
decisions.
the respect first thing has to be there. That means respect them, respect your child as an individual,
Yeah.
talk to them as a friend,
I think this goes
and
both ways also,
yeah,
right? Not just like the
definitely.
parent to the child.
Yeah, if you use the parent to the child kind of way,
Yeah.
yeah, it's only you will talk, the child will not talk, and they will close
Yeah.
their
I think kids
themselves.
also, yeah.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
from the
same,
child,
same,
right?
same.
They look up to your parents because
Yeah,
your parents are the first human beings to
to lead,
nurture
yeah.
you, to be around you like 24/7.
Mm.
So you will look up to them. I mean, for me, I think
Yes,
I shared, I've always looked up to my dad
mm,
as a figure that I would want to aspire to be. But
yeah,
as I grow older, I still have the same level of respect. But I realize he's also human. He
mm,
also has flaws, and as much as I look up to him, I shouldn't mold my life to his. His is
mm,
his own legacy. Mine,
yes.
I also want to build my own story, my own journey, and my own experiences. So I think it's important. Definitely to
Yeah.
mention the onion incident.
Now,
Yes. So we're gonna pop it in. So this incident, right, is really like the height of, I think it's really like the one time that I really was so angry, right? I was like, okay. Actually, at that period of time, I came back from
Australia,
Australia. I was taking a break in between my semester. So I came back
COVID time.
the start of COVID, very start, right
Just
before I went back. Because that's why you put the onion, right? So
okay.
it was the time we haven't really hit Singapore yet. The time no
Mm.
lockdown, no nothing. It was, I
But
think,
there's a saying. There's a lot
yeah,
of
like it was
saying.
it was it was when it just,
China
yeah, it started from Wuhan, right? And then like there were news about it, and they were saying that, oh, it's
is
the
good.
transmission is really very fast, right? So what she saw, I don't know where she get her sources from, right? And you need to
YouTube.
you need to understand, right? She's the the very simple kind of person that whatever she sees, she will believe one. So she's it's normal. I think some parents also like you very common. I heard my friends they say, their parents kids see what the vaccination bad lah, don't know this and that lah, eat this good, eat this bad, So she saw this thing where
No harm
apparently
trying if you don't have any other ways. Right? No harm trying if you don't have any other methods.
that is very bad. That
Okay.
is a very bad. I would say it's not a very accurate
Okay.
thing to say because
Okay.
there are things. There's reason why there's science. There's reason why
Of
there's
course.
evidence-based
Of course.
studies, right?
Of course.
So I'm skeptical lah of the things that we see online, right? Anyways, so one day I came home and then I was like in my room. I was thinking, what's this smell? It was so bad, and I thought it was durian, So I thought, oh, maybe someone brought home durian to eat, and so I went to sleep, and then I woke up, and when I was on my bed, I saw this
big,
huge onion. It's huge. I never seen such an onion before. It's a purple onion. Some more, it's a very pungent one. At below my table, because below my table had a cabinet or something like that. And I couldn't see it when I was sitting on my desk. And I was so angry. I took the onion, right? I went down with the plate lah. Then I was like, who put this in my room? I screamed, and then like my helper was like, oh, your mom asked me to cut and put in the room. The onion was like cut open. Yeah, I asked my mom, why you put this in my room? Oh, they say we can kill the COVID virus. Whoa, oh my god, I was so
because the onion is really very strong. Even human also cannot smell.
strong
Okay, what they
smell.
say? Okay, the saying is because of the onion, the smells, right? Because it's in the air, ma. Just like you spray the disinfectant or whatever, kill 99 or whatever,
if you
right?
Perfume will work. Perfume also spray, right?
No, but it's the smell.
Yeah,
It's,
so-
it's the
What
element or whatever lah. I do not know. So
people tell
people
you-
say ma. So you don't
people
have
say you believe.
okay. Example, in China, they used to boil the vinegar. They boil the vinegar so that the vinegar smell will smell the. I mean, like it will smoke the house because
Yeah,
that is also to
It's because
kill
to clear,
germs.
it's clear the smell, right? It's
Not
like you
smell
put, you
and
put
also
lemon
germs.
in the
Also
microwave,
germs.
right?
Also germs.
Okay,
So
anyways,
yeah, maybe this one leave to the scientists to go and find
Yes,
out. Then later
okay.
part we can
has there
find out
been
more.
evidence? I've never heard the
Onion.
smell from onion or
But eating onion,
the
they can-
aerosols from onion.
Wait, onion also can like kill the germs also. Like garlic, they also have the what killing germs
They all have
properties or
properties,
something.
okay?
Yeah,
But I don't know where she
because
get
maybe
the information
scientists
from.
have not find out
Okay,
the
yes.
evidence
So,
yet. But
What if
people,
let's say today the scientists come out with evidence? Oh, the onion, the aerosols that the onion produces, right, it's bad for health. Wow, you will see her. Wow, throw away.
yeah, of
cannot eat onion.
course. If people say bad, then they got to
Right.
throw away.
So
What?
you see, information is everywhere. So you need to be more skeptical. Okay. So I
Okay.
cannot blame my mom, but because maybe she's a kampong kid, from the Malaysia. She really like, enjoy the kampong life one. Like
First thing, my thought is that okay, no harm trying because the onion will not harm
okay,
anybody,
no harm,
and then
right?
it's a food.
Yes,
2 hours later.
I think life is the same. Everybody will
Not
go
proud
through
of
the
it,
almost same
yeah.
stages. There's nothing
We all
secret
make
about it.
mistakes
There's
lah,
nothing
yeah.
secret about it. Everybody will go through all these
Correct.
ups and downs. And
Mm.
actually, once you are open to it, everybody are the same.
You won't be a prisoner to it, lah. in a
Yeah,
way.
yeah. And
I'm not
everybody
proud
go
of it,
through.
yeah.
Everybody go through this kind of stages, and it's so normal. It's so normal, and
No, but some people they feel shameful. They don't want to share.
yeah, because they
feel
do
like,
not realize that actually everybody are the same. That's why they find that
they
it's
feel that people
shameful.
will judge them. It's just that they think that I do this. It's the
Ah,
same thing. I understand. Last
okay,
time
yeah,
I don't tell my friends that
Mm.
I used to be rude to you because I don't think it's anything. It's actually frowned upon also. Yeah, honestly I think that like what the hell am I doing? There's so many
Yeah.
things that I look back. I'm like, oh my god, I could have done it better. But I'm glad those things had to happen, right?
Yes, to learn, yes, to make you wiser.
Every situation, right, that you experience will remind you about something, and then yes, you can be unhappy. Things that you don't like, you need to voice out lah. So
Yeah.
I'll tell her, say, I don't like that you're doing this.
Yeah.
And then she will like, oh, okay, I will take note. I will not do it in the future. And then sometimes she will forget. Yes, and then frustrating. Then I'll just remind her, okay, I remember I told you this. I hope that you keep your word, that kind of thing. It's like just like a dance like that lah. Here and there,
pendulum up and
everywhere.
down, keep
Yeah,
on
same
repeating.
also.
You will
So-
keep on repeating, that's for sure.
Sometimes she also will frown at me, like say, why you need to talk like that? Then I will like, they were like, I didn't realize that I'm actually talking very disrespectfully in a way lah. So yeah, so that's the end of the first episode. I don't know how long it'll be after editing, but thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in. So maybe stay
Yes.
tuned for the second episode, which I think my
Yes.
second episode actually I think it'll be with my friends. But
Let's see.
so ultimately the episodes will be with different people. But I think I will do invite. I think maybe she'll be more of a mainstay guest or person in this podcast. So yeah, thank you.
If the response is good and people wish to know, of course we'll continue.
Hopefully,
If not, then we will just happy with
who
this
knows?
episode. Yeah,
actually
it's
we're
fine.
okay. Even if
Yeah.
future episodes will just be like blabbering on,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
got too many nonsense to talk about. Hopefully you have some takeaways, just even small ones, and hope you enjoyed the episode.
Yes,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for listening to the Whopper Talks podcast.